The LEGO Group, now more than ever, is seemingly cheaping out when it comes to Star Wars products. LEGO has always been known as an expensive toy brand, but many of the price increases as of late are absolutely crazy, especially considering that there isn't an increase in product quality in most cases, and even frequently decreases in quality, especially in the minifigure department. For this reason, custom figure producers have seen an explosion in popularity over the last couple of years, with Grandpa Clone Customs being one of the most popular of these brands. They came in at a perfect time into the LEGO Star Wars community, where the desire for accurate, well-made Phase 2 clone troopers was at an all-time high. Lately though, I feel that some of that hype has died down. GCC has produced most of their 2020 style clones that people were looking forward to, and the company has just been producing more niche characters instead of expanding out their product line to something more interesting than just that. So here's where Redmill Custom enters. Just last year, this company began producing Phase 1 style clones that everyone's been waiting for, especially since GCC hasn't gotten around to making Phase 1 troopers. What's unique about Redmill though is their choice of style, not just the plain modern clone troopers, but instead the nostalgic Clone Wars era troopers that most of us grew up with. That era of sets from around 2008 to 2012 just brings back so many memories to us LEGO fans that have been collecting for a while, from the LEGO Star Wars Clone Wars video game to trying to get some of the very first battle packs. Even while outside of this, I've always kind of found a charm to these kind of era figures, with them being a pretty simple design, but still being able to get the correct markings of different characters and units down. A nice touch that Redmill's included with these figures is the inclusion of the 2020 style of arm printing, which, while not accurate to how the OG clones used to look like, they add that perfect last touch of detail that you can still obviously remove if you prefer that look. Bly, of course, is my favorite here, who uses a set of macro binoculars and a custom waist cape piece to represent the clone's comma. I also really like their Commander Cody and Captain Rex figures, which are replicas of LEGO's versions that already exist, but with the addition of some of that nice arm and leg printing. I also like getting other named characters like Fives and Echo because of their importance inside the Clone Wars show. When it comes to how these figures are priced, it's done pretty fairly considering the production process that takes place in the creation of these figures. If you bought from GCC in the past, then you'll find similar pricing with this brand, with Army Builder figures being $19 each, and named characters being a little bit more. Redmill also offers bundles of certain figures for a discount, which is nice if you're planning on getting a large order. By the way, in me saying all this, I feel like I sound like I'm sponsored or something. I just want to say I'm not at all. I'm just kind of trying to do an overview of the brand here. Each figure is pad printed on official LEGO parts, other than the helmets, which are custom replica pieces that are basically identical to LEGO's official piece. This means that these figures are as close to real LEGO in terms of production quality as you can get. I think the main reason though that they're not really using those official helmets that LEGO has produced in white is just because of how expensive they are now that a lot of Phase 1 clone troopers have been retired. And getting blank helmets to print on just can be really expensive, and honestly, I'd rather have a replica piece and pay a cheaper price than having to pay super expensive prices for all official parts. One problem I hope this brand doesn't run into though is overusing their new helmet mold, and I don't think this is really a problem that we're going to see because they have been posting things about how they're going to be making a lot more helmets to make things like flame troopers and other different types of troopers. GCC dragging the Phase 2 helmet mold, creating more and more niche characters instead of innovating and making new helmet molds is what I believe has made their product waves just become less and less interesting over time. They've promised Phase 1 clones and stormtroopers, but we've gotten very little of that so far, and no Phase 1 troopers at all. Once Redmill has made the main Phase 1 clones that most everyone would want, they really need to just make new helmet molds to create more unique, desirable characters so that we are only reusing their Phase 1 helmet mold over and over again to make random gunners and other characters like that. I'd love to see snow troopers and flame troopers from them, for example, and I'd also think it'd be cool to get a clone pilot helmet mold, which I wrote this script when they hadn't announced it yet, but they did just release those and they look really great. I'll show a picture of them. But it gets rid of the fin on the top of the regular helmet, and then they also have some air tubes that are molded around it as well. But anyways, if you are interested, I'll link them down below so you can check them out and see if you're interested in any of their products. But I wanted to mention here that, again, I did buy these for full price. I'm not sponsored or anything, so all thoughts in this video really are my own. I really like this brand and want to support it, so I just wanted to make this video. But with that all said, remember that Christ is King, and may the Force be with you.